Now at 5, a breakthrough for child safety as Benny's bill wins unanimous House approval for tougher penalties. Plus, Southeast Kansas residents demand a public meeting with a nuclear company over an underground reactor proposal. And
President Trump weighs possible military action against Iran. I'm Erica Brown with more from the president on a timeline and reaction from Capitol Hill.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A bill that would increase penalties for child endangerment advances in the Kansas legislature. This is KOAM News. I'm Dow Quick. Benny's bill was prompted by a case in Pittsburgh in 2024 when a child was left unattended and unbuckled in his bouncer. The child rolled over and suffocated. Suffering severe brain damage has left him with cerebral palsy and dependent on a feeding tube. The daycare workers responsible for the incident received what some consider light sentences for misdemeanor charges. Benny's bill would increase penalties for crimes like that when the victim is under 6 years old. That bill has now passed in the Kansas House unanimously, 124-0. It goes to the state Senate next. If it passes there and gets the governor's signature, it'll go into effect in July. A nuclear energy company continues to face questions from several Southeast Kansas residents about its proposed project. Deep Fission plans on placing a reactor a mile underground in the Parsons area to eliminate the need for above-ground structures. The Great Plains Development Authority held a meeting today to hear concerns of residents, one being about transparency.
I'm not going to have a private meeting with this company. It would be disrespectful to my community. It would be disrespectful to the people that are joining Prairie Dog Alliance in trying to educate the public and find out what this company plans to do in the future and what they're.
The community wants a public meeting with Deep Fission. Great Plains Industrial Park Director Brad Reams says they look forward to that public meeting. No date has been confirmed yet. The Seneca Police Department decided to end its contract with Flock license plate readers, citing frustrations with customer service and overall concerns over the privacy of residents. 2 cameras were installed last year in mid-October, though Chief James Altick says only 1 was working. They were taken down in mid-January of this year.
Couldn't get calls back. We couldn't get any feedback. It just wasn't working out real well. Then when they put the cameras up, one of them, I don't know if it ever had a true working ability. There was always a ticket attached to it for service. It was a little bit rough. Nobody would reach back out to us, wouldn't contact us.
Chief Altick maintains that during the short time the cameras were in use, he had no knowledge of any misuse within his department. McDonald County students showed off their scientific skills today at the high school science fair preview. Students tested experiments ahead of the school's first ever science fair and community science night. Students tested bubbling cabbage at pH labs, did strawberry DNA extraction, worked baking soda volcanoes, you saw one of those, and they did microscope work.
We want to show people how cool that is for our students to be doing some of this stuff and to be engaging in the actual process of science, not just memorizing facts or vocab, and doing the processes as opposed to just sitting down and reading out of a textbook.
Along with the activities, students were interviewed about the importance of hands-on science education. Still pretty windy and mild out there. Let's check in with meteorologist Austin Stantz.
Yeah, thanks, Dow. So taking a look at our fire weather alerts for today. This is our red flag warning. As Dow mentioned, it's fairly windy out there right now. The good news, our fire danger going to start to decrease, as we head into these evening hours. Now, speaking of science, well, let's talk about some. Right here we have our upper level low just north of Kansas City. Some wraparound moisture here allowing for some snow development into Nebraska and then into portions of northwestern Missouri there. But we're going to see this cold front begin to swing southeast here. That's going to bring us some colder temperatures as we head into the evening tonight. But the good news is winds are going to calm down as well. So even though it's going to get a little bit cooler, those winds aren't going to help out too much. But we are departing from normal once again. And this time we're going going back below average. We're going to talk about for how long and just how cold it's going to get coming up in my full forecast.
All right, we'll catch you in a few. President Trump has given a timeline for Iran to reach a deal to end its nuclear program. It also gives U.S. forces more time to steam toward the Middle East. This comes as the president also convened his first ever Board of Peace designed to maintain peace in Gaza. Erica Brown has more details now from Capitol Hill.
President Trump is weighing action against Iran if no deal is reached to curb the country's nuclear program.
We may have to take it a step further, or we may not. Maybe we're going to make a deal. You're going to be finding out over the next probably 10 days.
CBS News has learned national security officials have presented the president with military options for strikes against Iran. And the president has ordered a buildup of U.S. forces in the region, including the world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford. It comes as Iran is carrying out joint military exercises with Russian forces in the region.
We're either going to get a deal or it's going to be unfortunate for them.
Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna and Republican Congressman Thomas Massie plan to force a vote as soon as next week on a war powers resolution requiring congressional approval before any military action against Iran. President Trump also announced the U.S. will contribute $10 billion to the Board of Peace as he hosted its first meeting in Washington Thursday. The board was created as part of the brokered peace deal between Israel and Hamas.
We have to get this right. There is no plan B for Gaza. Plan B is going back to war. No one here wants that.
The president signed fundraising pledges totaling about $7 billion from member states to help with humanitarian aid and reconstruction in Gaza. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
U.S. forces being deployed to the Middle East are all expected to be in the area no later than March. King Charles's younger brother, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, was arrested today on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Police allege he sent confidential government documents to disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein while serving as a UK trade envoy. Mountbatten Windsor, who turned 66 today and is eighth in line to the throne, was questioned by detectives. His arrest is unprecedented for a senior royal in modern times and follows his brother stripping him of his prince title and royal honors in October. Still ahead, wine decline. Wine oversupply forces California farmers to destroy vineyards and switch to other crops. But first in Health Watch, adults rediscover fitness fun with playground games. So we're going to explain kidulting. Topping today's Health Watch, breast cancer screening can increase the survival rate for women with stage 4 breast cancer by 60%. A King's College London study found that women whose cancer was detected through screening were much more likely to live 10 years past their diagnosis compared with women whose cancer wasn't detected through screening. The findings show even with some late-stage cancer, screening can be life-saving. More and more people are relying on AI chatbots to help with loneliness. But a new paper published by the Cell Press says that the chatbots reminding people that they're talking to an AI might not be helpful. Public health researchers say reminding someone who already feels isolated that their only source of support isn't a human might backfire, make them feel even more alone. If you've been struggling to stay active, there's a new trend making workouts feel a lot more like playtime, kind of, sort of. Tina Kraus shows how some trainers are turning back time to get people fit.
Welcome to Kidulting. Come in.
In this fitness class, grown-ups are not allowed.
We're going to play Stuck in the Mud. Let's go.
It's all about channeling your inner child.
How's that heart rate? We feeling a little warmer?
David Lloyd clubs in the UK are giving members a chance to relive their younger years.
There we go.
With playground games.
Who remembers the parachute?
That make working out fun again.
If you're yellow, you're going to be, shall we be a banana?
All childhood favorites.
Blueberry!
Most people haven't played since grade school.
That's a hurricane, so we're going faster! Keep them on, keep them on!
How's your heart rate?
Really fast.
This throwback trend has a name.
Kidulting, so it's the joy of being a kid as an adult.
It's a little bit of a mental trick because I'm not realizing how much time's going by.
Exactly.
What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Dinner time.
Research shows when exercise is playful,
That's good. Oh, he's quick, isn't it?
people are far more likely to make it a habit.
I think it just kind of gives you a chance to reminisce. It also gives you a chance to sort of revisit that period of your life which you thought was gone and you're not going to get back.
Bake cake as fast as you can.
Trainers say kiddleting works anywhere if you just keep playing.
Go. 10 seconds. Let's pick him up, pick him up, pick him up.
Because being a kid never gets old. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
It does look like fun, doesn't it? Researchers seem to back the idea of kidulting. The National Institutes of Health says adults who engage in playful, childlike activities report better cognitive function and memory as they age. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, why California grape growers are removing thousands of acres of vines.
And a reminder that winter is not over for the 4 states as temperatures begin falling tonight. We'll talk about how cold it's going to get coming up.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Well, the day started off mild and it trended in that direction as well. By 10:53 this morning, we reached our high 18 degrees above the average high for today. Now, after that lunch hour, though, temperatures were actually falling. We were around 66 degrees by the noon hour. That's because a cold front began to pass through. And now take a look. Temperatures already down 55 degrees. You can kind of notice this cutoff here. Take a look. We have this yellow shade further off to our east, but off to our northwest, Yates Center, you're at 40 degrees, but off to our far southeast, Bella Vista, you're at 64 degrees. So there's a 24-degree temperature change there just between our northwest region and our southeastern region. So that's a pretty sharp cutoff here. Now we're looking north here in our downtown Joplin Skywatch Tower Cam. You'll notice those flags blowing around a little bit. Also, the camera's still shaking a little bit, so it's still a little gusty out there right now. But the good news is winds are going to begin to fall as we head into this evening. Our front continues to pass through. Wind gusts 17 miles per hour by around 10 o'clock tonight. Into the overnight hours, our wind gusts are only going to hit around 10, 12 miles per hour when you're waking up tomorrow morning. So things are going to be pretty calm heading into our Friday. Taking a look at our our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Camp, just a little bit of cloud cover beginning to move in. That is going to clear out though. So as we head into the evening tonight, a few passing clouds possible, but boy, look at these temperatures overnight, down to 28 degrees by 2 a.m. there, heading into the upper 20s by the time you're waking up tomorrow morning. It's going to be a chilly one out there for sure to start Friday. 28 degrees, our overnight low. Winds are easing up though, so that's good news. Not going to be a huge factor in a wind chill. But taking a look as we head into your noon hour on Friday, look at this, 37 degrees there, just a passing cloud or two, but it's really not warming up too much. We make it to right around the mid 40s here by 4 o'clock. And here we are headed into Friday evening. Now, this is something to talk about here because you notice north here, just above our banner there, 32 degrees. That's Kansas City. Below our banner here, you see that we're still above freezing here. We're going to go into a period overnight Friday where we have about 5 hours below freezing. If we can get our precipitation to move in during that 5-hour stretch, there is a chance of a spotty flurry or two. But mainly rainfall is likely here. I'm not expecting that we're going to have that perfect timing where we get some of that snowfall to move in. So I think most of it's just going to be a few scattered showers. But take a look, Saturday, 9 a.m. here, still right around that freezing level. It's starting to make our way above freezing. By noon, we're at 40 in Joplin on Saturday. Sunny skies throughout our Saturday for sure, but boy, is it cooler out there. Still only sitting around the mid 40s there for us. Taking a look at your 10-day forecast and what you can expect there. Well, here we go. Let's take a look at Sunday, 46 degrees there. Heading into next week, we start a little bit cooler, but then we're climbing back into the 50s and 60s. And our next system that could bring us some precipitation is going to be late next week down.
We need the rain for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is that fire risk out there.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Coming up, a third-generation farmer skips the first harvest ever as the California wine industry struggles. Topping today's Consumer Watch, wine giant Gallo announced this week it's closing a Napa Valley production facility and cutting 93 jobs, the latest sign of strain in the wine industry. In California, growers say oversupply and shrinking consumer demand forced many to leave their grapes unpicked. Reporter Carmela Karcher spoke with farmers who are hoping the market's going to make a comeback.
It was a devastating year.
Bill Stokes is a third-generation farmer in Lodi, California, working over 100 acres of grapevines, and this is the first year he didn't pick.
This vineyard was planted in 91, 92, and this is the first, 25 was the first year it was never harvested.
And he wasn't the only grape grower who had to make those same sacrifices this past year.
I look out my backyard and there's 40 acres of piles, and it's been more than 30 years that was vineyard. So, yeah, it's hard to look at.
The wine grape industry has been hard across the state. According to the California Farm Bureau, between October 2024 and August 2025, growers removed more than 38,000 acres of vines, 7% of the state's acreage. And in Lodi, the situation has been even tougher. The Lodi Wine Grape Commission chair says last year, roughly 50% of what was planted wasn't even picked.
So if you're an average consumer or a Lodi local resident and you're driving around, you can see the wilted raisin fruit that was unpicked. And so it was pretty devastating for us growers.
The reason for the removal is oversupply. There's too much wine being produced and not enough demand from customers. As a result, many grape growers have turned to other crops.
The big joke is when they plant all of Lodi into almonds, what's the rest of the state going to do?
But farmers still have hope for this next year.
Supply and demand always levels out, right? What goes up must come down and vice versa. So it will correct itself. You do have a lot of vineyards being taken out.
We'll get through it. We'll do something else. We're not going to quit. We're not quitters, that's for sure.
In Lodi, California, Carmela Karcher, CBS News.
Brad Reese, the grandson of the inventor of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, is accusing Hershey of quietly switching up the candy's ingredients and eroding the brand. On LinkedIn, Reese alleged the company has replaced milk chocolate with compound coatings and peanut butter with a peanut butter style cream across multiple products. In a statement to CBS News, Hershey said it sometimes makes product recipe adjustments, although it noted that Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, they say, are made the same way they always have been. An Illinois judge has ruled that a case against Buffalo Wild Wings, quote, has no meat on its bones. A man filed that lawsuit after ordering the chain's boneless wings back in 2023, claiming the product is deceptive because it's made with breast meat and not wings that are deboned. In his decision, the judge says the man did not drum up enough evidence to back that claim, and that term is a fanciful name, and it's not deceptive. Wawa is recalling some 16-ounce bottles of chocolate, cookies and cream, and reduced fat milk because they could contain small pieces of soft plastic. Recall only affects products sold in Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Customers can contact Wawa for a refund. Final check of the forecast up next. Tonight at 6, Parsons becomes the test site for a national nuclear experiment as residents organize some opposition. Plus, in our Doing Good report, it spotlights an organization serving meals and programs to Joplin area school children. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Hope you're not too accustomed to this relatively warm weather we're experiencing, because all good things must come to an end. Austin.
Yeah, Mother Nature's going to be taking us for a ride as we head into the next 24 hours here. We're going to see our temperatures today. We're at 69 degrees, but put your hands up because we're going down. 28 degrees overnight tonight. It's going to be a chilly start tomorrow morning, Dow, so make sure you have that winter coat ready. I already got mine on the front rack.
Me too. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.